Precision agriculture technology is everywhere. GPS guidance, yield monitors, grid soil sampling, variable rate application. And for years, farmers and ag retailers have been told that these tools will make your operation more efficient and more profitable. But do they actually? That's exactly what we set out to find. I'm Chad Fichter from Purdue University, and along with my co authors, Brady Brewer, Jennifer Ift, and Mike Bolge, we examined farm records from 570 Kansas farms through a 21-year period to measure how precision agriculture technology actually affects farm efficiency. And we're not just talking about yields, we were looking at the whole picture, the ability to generate revenue while keeping costs in check. The rationale is that the returns to precision ag tech may come in a variety of outcomes, like the ability to increase management time on the farm. First, let's look at how widely these tools have been adopted. By 2022, nearly 80% of farms in our dataset were using automated guidance. Yield monitors had reached over 60%, section control around 50%, and grid soil sampling around 40%. While we're looking at Kansas farms, these rates of adoption are similar to those reported by the USDA and the CropLife Purdue Precision Agriculture Dealership Survey. In the analysis, we measured four types of efficiency. The first is overall efficiency, or how well a farm generates revenue relative to its costs. You can see that this varies a lot across farms and years, which makes sense. Farms differ enormously in size, crop mix, and how exposed they are to weather and prices. Pure technical efficiency, or the ability to convert inputs to output, tells a more encouraging story. Farms are more tightly clustered on this measure, and we know that they are improving over time as an entire group. Scale efficiency is the most variable from year to year. This likely reflects whether a farm's land, labor, and equipment are well matched to conditions in each season. Some years are just better fits than others. For example, in optimal years, we likely have too much machinery. And lastly, allocative efficiency. The balance of land, labor, capital, and inputs is relatively stable. Farms tend to keep a consistent resource mix year to year. This insight is actually a reasonable reflection of how we believe farms are managed in practice. Our analysis examined whether the efficiency metrics for each farm change if they report using precision agriculture technology. On average, most precision agriculture bundles are not associated with improved efficiency. Of the 17 different combinations we examined, only 2 showed statistically meaningful gains: automated guidance on its own and the combination of yield monitors with grid soil sampling. Now, this doesn't mean that precision agriculture has no value, but it does mean that the added costs of most technology bundles are not being offset by higher revenue. If your operation is already well managed, there's no strong financial case to rush into adoption. The 2 exceptions tell a really interesting story about how different types of technology work. Automated guidance is what we call an embodied technology. Once it's installed, it works largely on its own: reduced overlap, lower fuel costs, more consistent field passes. Short learning curve and relatively direct payoff. Yield monitors and grid soil sampling are a different animal. These tools generate information, but the value of that information depends entirely on whether you can interpret it and act on it. These technologies have been around for decades. However, for emerging technology that generates information, there is likely going to be a learning curve that limit the observed benefits. One of our most striking findings is that less efficient farms benefit the most from these technologies. When we looked at farms with the largest opportunity for improvement, or those in the bottom quartile of efficiency, 5 of the 17 bundles showed meaningful gains, most of them involving 4 or more technologies used together. This result points to a catch-up effect. Precision agriculture helps close management gaps that better run operations have already addressed through experience and strong management practices. So here's the bottom line. If your farm is already well managed, you shouldn't feel financial pressure to adopt precision agriculture quickly. Don't let the adoption decision be a distraction from intentional management. But if there's room to improve, technology, especially multiple tools used together, could make a real difference. And for everyone, the return on precision agriculture isn't just about owning the equipment, it's about having the knowledge and the systems to use it. One quick last point. If precision agriculture technology leads to benefits like lifestyle or comfort, and a farm can afford the technology, the choice to adopt should be considered logical. Thanks for watching. If you'd like to read the full story, I've linked it below.